Good morning from this village called Mori here in Uttarakhand. It's a nice, easy, sunny camp morning today, and I figured I'll do a short video around a few things that I use around the bike that I've gotten a few questions for, and a few things that I think can help you guys when you're on your own adventure, be it moto camping adventure or just a touring expedition across the country. So here are a few things that I have on my bike that I use sincerely and that have helped me in the last 3 years that I've been riding. So yeah, let's start. Yeah, I guess we'll start from the front of the bike and we will move our way back. So the first thing on the list are these really nice, really strong, really sturdy HJG lights. Now, as far as I'm concerned, these are original HJG lights. There's a lot of duplicates around in the market that you can find for a lot less money, but I recommend that you don't do that. You go spend a couple of thousand or 2,000 rupees extra. They come with these clamps themselves, so you don't have to buy anything aftermarket. These clamps will all be provided to you, on which you can adjust the height depending on if you want them too much looking onward the road or high up. This is how they look. They do not come with these covers, these yellow covers. I put them on because there is a chance that I'll find some rain on this trip. HJGs, I think they costed me around I'm not sure, I'll have to cross check. I'll put that down somewhere here. But yeah, excellent buy, excellent throw. And because all of you know, the stock light of the Himalayan is not the best. I've also replaced the stock light and replaced it with a LED projector. I'm not sure which brand, but if you want to have some details about it, let me know. I'll let you know about the details of the headlight. Now we come to the second part. Now, like, of course there's nothing new with the turn signals of the Himalayan. I've just replaced the LED, the halogen inside them with an LED. I've done nothing more than that. It just adds more visibility for others. So LED of course lasts more, is more visible in rain and fog, etc. So I've just done that, but that's not what I'm going to talk about. What I've done with these turn signals is this little switch. Now this is a hazard light switch, and for those of you who do not know what a hazard light is, it is essentially if you're driving a car, it's the parking lights you have on your car. Nowadays bikes manufactured after 2021 and a lot of bikes of 2020 as well come inbuilt with a usual blinker, the the parking blinker. My bike didn't have it. I bought mine in 2019. What this hazard system has done for me, that I have got, if you can see, there is a little bit of a small red switch here. So what this does is you can always change modes with the switch. Now there are about 21 modes of blinking systems in this, so I can always change that. I think it's of the company called Simtech, if I'm not wrong. So of course, visibility, safety, I always have them on whenever I'm touring. Not inside the city as much, but outside on the highway and mountains, I always have this on. Alright, so that's the second part. The third part, we'll come back to the front side of the bike, and is this little thingy, this little sturdy mount. So this essentially, you might find this on a lot of Himalayans around, but this is essentially of a pretty famous company called Zana. It's a phone or a GPS mount by Zana. I do not mount my phone as much here. But this mount is really useful for quite a lot of other things. You see these scratches here. That's because I've put on a few times a carabiner here and stacked a lot of stuff here. I also have like a molly loop pouch which has a molly loop, so I can always stick it behind, and the pouch is sticking right here in case I need to have a few items that I need to grab out really quickly. I will use that here. That pouch usually has my GoPro stuff. You just have to take out the windshield, attach it, put the windshield back on. But yeah, nice little addition to the bike. I don't think I can have my bike without this for sure. That's the third one. We come to the fourth gizmo, that are these handguards. Now I do not have any fancy Acer Bis or Barkbuster handguards. That's because when I got these original RE handguards, I couldn't afford them, nor can I afford them now. Now there are a lot of rumors that these are not that great handguards, which in all fairness they aren't. You can't compare them to a Barkbuster for sure, but they're quite sturdy. As you can see, this one has a fair amount of scratches and it's got fair amounts of dents. The other one has probably more. There's a huge dent around here, I think. Yeah, the bike has fallen quite a few number of times either ways, so these have protected and stayed on fine. Probably the plastic has sort of broken apart, but all I've done is just add some quick fix or Fevikwik to it, and it's done the job till now. I've had a major crash on the bike as well. These haven't bent, haven't broken. The major metal structure hasn't changed shape, which is the centerpiece. They keep me sufficiently warm in really cold weather. I have ridden in really cold weather as well. I've had them on for more than 2.5 years. Haven't gone anywhere. I think you get them for 2,500 a pair from Royal Enfield themselves. So probably give it a try if you're new to riding. These could be a nice pair of first handguards that you can buy. And this is a good piece of gizmo that I've added to the bike. Yeah, that's number 4. So the next part are these leg guards. Now, leg guards shouldn't really be treated as a fancy equipment to add on your bike. This, in my opinion, is the most basic thing that you should, or probably one of the first things you should be adding to your bike, irrespective of when you're touring or not. It does not matter if you're a tourer or you're a city rider. Add a nice pair of leg guards. It does not matter what company, as long as they're not Royal Enfield, because Royal Enfield leg guards are shitty. Everyone knows that, it's no secret. They're really poorly made. My bike came with a stock set of leg guards, but I think I had one fall and they bent, and I went to Karol Bagh in Delhi, got leg guards from the same make of the company called Zana, which makes this phone mount as well. It's a pretty well-known company. You can go to their website or Amazon. You can find these all over the place. I'm not sure of the price. I'll put it down in the video, but really nice piece of equipment. Really sturdy. Might I say, I've had at least 25 falls and at least 2 to 3 crashes as well on good speeds. Never have they bent, never have they broken, never have they given up on me. But this one has taken a major fall as well, a major fall, and all it's got is some skid marks. That's about it. So really nice piece of equipment. I can always mount all these fancy GoPro mounts to it as well, so adds as a nice utility as well, in addition to the safety that they provide. Coming on towards the halfway point, the next piece of equipment that I use on the bike is this really nice phone mount. Now again, I don't think I remember which company this is from. I don't think it's written anywhere, but this is like, it's a weird thing to say, but this is only the second phone mount I've ever owned for my bike. The first one was a really cheap 100-200 rupee one, which looks like a claw mount, one of those RAM mounts, but it is sort of Chinese make, and it broke, I think, after 1 or 1.5 trips, in the middle of one of the trips that I was on. Again, something that I went and got from Karol Bagh. I do not remember the company, but there's a company called Bobo, I guess, which makes similar phone mounts like this, which has chargers as well. This does not have a charger. That's a question that a lot of people keep asking me, but this does not have a charger. And I don't think a phone mount should have a charger, because essentially sometimes having a charger can compromise the effectiveness of the phone mount. You always need it to be sturdy, it should not move, should not have any loose parts on it. That's how I like my stuff. Should be basic and should serve one purpose. If it's a multi-purpose, you should really be spending a little bit more and instead of cheaping out. So again, I do not remember the price of it. I think I have written it down somewhere. I'll update all the prices somewhere around the video. The nice thing about this system is that it connects to these Allen key that are on the Himalayan. As you can see, this structure, it's a sturdy one. It connects to the the Allen key, the bolts on which the handle is tightened and mounted of the Himalayan. I'm currently running a stock handle. I was running a Art of Motorcycles handle. I swapped it out for a stock handle just for this trip. But yeah, essentially this can work with any handle. I should mention I've had a major fall with this phone mount. My phone was on this mount. My phone did not come flying off the mount, but the mount broke from here and it went flying. So my phone was still encased in this, because as you can see, these has thumb screws which you can tighten after you put in your phone. So once your phone is here, you can tighten this and it does not move, does not jitter. Enfields are notorious for making really vibrating bikes. Himalayan is no exception, but my phone has never jittered. I've never been scared that it's gonna come flying off on high speeds. Like I said, the phone mount that I'm using does not have a USB charger, and when you're on a bike, on a long trip, on a trip like this where you're camping in the wild and there's nothing or no one around, you probably would need a couple of charging points. Now I've got this really nice sort of a charging console. Again, got it from Karol Bagh, did not order it off from anywhere. It's a really nice charging slot. I've just attached it right beneath my phone mount so that I can use a small cable and always charge it. Now that is one thing. Of course, my tank bag sits on the tank, so a charging lead can go from here and it can go in the tank bag and charge whatever I need to get charged. Now it has 3 of these ports. Let me try and focus it for you. Yeah, so port number 1 is a usual cigarette charging cigarette lighter port. I think that cars have. I've never used this, so you can see a little bit of rust here, but I'm pretty sure a little bit of WD-40 will make this usable. I've never needed to use it, to be honest, and I've been on really long 1-month trips. Tells you a lot about the other 2 points on this phone mount. Now these points are both of 5 volts 2.1 ampere, 5 volts 2.1 ampere, so they are capable of fast charging your phone, and both are USB type A, and you can always connect them to your phone, your GoPro and other shit like that. The nice little addition is that it has a switch on top to power it off or power it on, and it has a plastic casing around the switch so that water does not seep in. It has never seeped in for me. This has never failed on me, never stopped working. But one thing that I would like to tell you is that I have never, or maybe very seldom, have I used to charge something from this when the bike is turned off. That's not a nice habit. It takes a toll on your battery. So whenever you are charging something, make sure you turn on the ignition and the engine, and you are then drawing power directly from the battery. That's the advice that I can give you. So far these 6 things are what my dashboard consists of. I am thinking of swapping these mirrors out pretty soon, but I'm gonna update you about them later. But yeah, I'm gonna move to the center of the bike now. Now right above the leg guards by Zana is a small thing that you see here. Now people who are seasoned riders, they already know what I'm talking about. Basically it's just a lead that is connected to the terminals of the battery underneath the seat, and I have taken out the lead from this little section. This stays intact like it should be, and it has like a small casing from where again you can charge things as well. You can get a charger that connects to this and you can charge a lot of things on your bike. But at the same time, what this helps me with is this is a lead from the kit of Rescue Tech tire inflated that I use, that I think I've shown it to you before as well. This comes in the same kit. I realized if I have to inflate my tires, change the tire pressure, I do not need to open my seat or the back seat as well. I just need to simply undo the cap, plug in the tire inflator, and I'm done. My tire inflator is anyway out on one of these frame bags by Viaterra, so it's a really nice handy sort of, not really equipment, but part of a bigger equipment that I'm using on the bike. So I thought of including this in the list as well. It's a really useful tip. Try it. You can always stick it down to a lot of things, but you don't want dust and muck to stick onto it. So it comes on right to the side. All I need to do is make sure that the cap stays fit, and it's a snug fit, so there's no issues. Finally, coming towards the rear of the bike. Now this is an entire saddle system. I do not use panniers on my bike for the kind of riding I do. I like to take my bike off-road and try my hand at falling in different positions every single time I try to do so, and just for that same purpose I use saddlebags, which are light, which can accommodate a lot more stuff, and that's just perfect for the kind of riding I do. Now these are stays by Zana. I have a lot of Zana equipment on the bike just for the sole purpose that they make this stuff bomb proof, and I can stand by that statement. That's why you see this, the leg guard and the phone mount, and I'm pretty sure a few things here and there by Zana. You can see there are few scratches here and there, but nothing is bent, nothing is broken. So when you are putting your soft luggage, there is enough gap from the silencer. I have got this question so many times, and I'm finally sort of letting you know pictorially that the saddle stay keeps the saddlebag from touching the silencer. If you do not have this on, of course, no matter how much you tighten the soft luggage over here or wherever, because of the weight, it is always gonna droop down and it is always gonna find a way to rest on something. So I will always advise you to use a saddle stay. Now the good thing is that it comes with these screws. Whenever I'm in the city, I just unscrew this part comes right off, and this becomes a really lean and a really not as much wide bike as it is. This ends here and this ends here, so it keeps a little bit of protection of the saddle stay whenever I'm not using the soft luggage. So I never take the entire saddle stay off. I just take off this part and I'm good to go. It's a really nice, functional, really sturdy system. One of the rods go here, connect to the part where the silencer nut also connects at the back. Then they are interconnected with each other here with the help of Allen key. As you can see it, I've added a few washers just for a little bit of added sturdiness, and here, and here's the other one. So it's a really nice system. Wouldn't do it any other way, and I'm glad in my first attempt I got the right company, got the right style for my style of riding. Now after the end of this long, hopefully helpful video, we come towards the most talked about part and the most asked about part, at least in my comments about the bike, which is the rear rack plate. Now there's a few bungees and a few straps that I use for strapping my camp gear onto this stay, so I'm not going to take all of this off because it's a hassle to put it right back on in the right place. But majorly the plate construction seems like this. I'm really glad of what I've purchased. This is a piece of really solid steel plate by a company called Nexus gears. You can find it on Amazon. It does not provide you these washers that you see here, the big ones, but it does provide you these Allen key nuts. It's always advisable to buy these 1 rupee washers from a hardware store around you. Put them on and then put the nut on, just because there's more surface area for the nut to tighten to. And beneath they give you these couple of steel arms, one from here till here and another from again here till here. Probably you can see it here. So 2 of these, and of course those nuts that you see on the top come here, attach here, and they do not move. So I've attached it right, one towards the extreme left, one towards the extreme right. It's a pretty easy installation. You can see them online anywhere. Has never given up. I've loaded up to, I think, 10 kilos That's what I am thinking. I am guessing 10-12 kilos on this. Has never bent, has never made me think that shit, something's not gonna stand whatever I put on it. But just make one thing really sure is that whenever you tightening these arms of it with which the plate tightens, you do not tighten them to an extent where you end up bending these arms themselves. Otherwise these arms have a tendency of bending. As you can see, this is just a little bit bent because the first time I was putting it on, I had screwed it a little too tight, and because of the bars on the Himalayan back plate, this is bent from here just a little bit. Has never caused a problem, but just keep that in mind when you're putting it on. Easy installation, has lots of these holes and places from where you can put in your bungees and your straps. As you can see, that's what I've done. From time to time, the only thing I do is I spray a little bit of WD-40 on these washers and these nuts so that the rust is freed. Otherwise nothing. Really sturdy, really nice piece of equipment. So yeah, these essentially are the 10 things of equipment, 10 pieces of gizmo that I have on my bike that I'm really proud of, that I can stand by and suggest to you, and that I've been asked about, and hopefully this has helped you. Now, apart from these 10 things, there's one bonus little tip or bonus little addition that I've added that just caught my eye, that I thought I'd give you as a bonus, and which is this little part. Now this is a cycle lock, I think, from Decathlon. It's a heavier lock. There are a few of these that you can purchase from Decathlon, few qualities of these at least, and this is for tying my helmet. That's the only reason this sits on my bike. Otherwise this sits on my cycle when I'm in the city, when I'm not on my bike and I'm cycling a lot. But when I'm touring, I take it off the cycle, just sort of lock it around the saddle stay. Does not hinder the saddle because it sits on it, and my helmet does not, of course I can tighten it, does not touch the chain or the mucky tires. Just stays on here. In a situation like this where I'm camping, if I do not want to keep my helmet inside, or if I'm camping with another person, we can always attach it at the back of the bike and the helmet stays on there perfectly without any problems. And that's why this is the last bonus tip that I thought I could give you. You can see the state of my hands. That is what happens when you're camping in the wild for 3-4 days straight. But yeah, essentially these are all the things that I thought can help you and that should help you. Now essentially these are all the crucial pieces of gizmos, equipment, tech, whatever you want to call it, that I have attached on my bike, have modded my bike upon, that are functional. Now all of these parts are not added as per how I want the bike to look, but they're added as per how I want to feel, how I want the bike to help me when I'm out away from crowds and cities, and how I want the bike to support me with whatever I'm doing. Everything that I have told you about has some kind of a function, has some kind of a sense behind why it's on where it is, and that's what the aim is always. I've had a few questions around what I'm using, which rack plate is it, do the saddle stays have a stay plate, what hand guards are you using, what phone mount are you using, how do you charge your phone, your devices, etc., all of that. But yeah, essentially regarding the bike, these are the things that I thought could help you. If you liked this video, I'm glad. Leave a comment if you have a question for me. Yeah, that's about it. I hope I've added some value to your life with this short video, and yeah, see you in the next one.